What's up, guys, and welcome back to Wall Street Millennial. Over the past year, two of the best performing assets have been Tesla stock and Bitcoin, which are up 460 and 330% respectively. Today, it appears that these two investment stories are merging, with Tesla announcing on February 8th that it bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and plans to start accepting Bitcoin as a valid payment method for their cars. Historically, Musk hasn't been a major fan of Bitcoin. In 2018, he tweeted that he owned essentially zero Bitcoin and didn't talk much about cryptocurrencies. But over the past year, he appeared to slowly warm up to crypto. In the summer of 2020, he posted this tweet showing his support of Dogecoin. And more recently, he retweeted this promotional video about Dogecoin.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual
Bitcoin has now almost overtaken an all-time high this week of $900. Now, at its peak, if you had invested $1,000
Many people thought that the Dogecoin tweets were a joke and just an example of Musk trolling. But today's announcement of Tesla buying $1.5 billion of Bitcoin shows that he is serious about cryptocurrency and willing to put his money where his mouth is. The fact that the elongated Muskrat himself believes in Bitcoin gave a huge shot of legitimacy to the cryptocurrency. Furthermore, the company says it will soon start accepting payment for its products in Bitcoin. This means people who own Bitcoin can potentially buy Tesla directly without having to liquidate their holdings into cash. This will potentially cause increased adoption of Bitcoin as a method of transacting. This positive news spurred a 15% rise in Bitcoin's price up to $44,000, with prominent Bitcoin investor and CEO of MicroStrategies Michael Saylor tweeting his support, saying the entire world will benefit from Musk's leadership. So why exactly did Tesla buy Bitcoin, and what does it mean going forward for both the company and for Bitcoin? They recently released their 10K annual report, where they disclosed their Bitcoin holdings and new Bitcoin strategy. They said the board of directors approved that the company can hold a portion of its treasury reserves in alternative assets such as gold and digital currency. In January, they bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they may acquire more from time to time. They may even choose to buy Bitcoin as a long-term holding. Additionally, they plan to soon start accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for its products. When they take Bitcoin as payment for their products, they will not necessarily convert those Bitcoins into cash. They may just keep them on their balance sheet as Bitcoin, in which case their Bitcoin reserves will steadily increase as they sell more cars. This could turn Tesla stock into more and more of a Bitcoin play over time. Tesla likely bought the Bitcoin to hedge their cash holdings in the event that inflation picks up and starts degrading the value of cash in the coming years. Another potential reason for this investment is the favorable tax impact of how they account for Bitcoin holdings. If the value of Bitcoin decreases, they recognize an impairment charge which decreases their net income. But if the value of Bitcoin goes up, they don't recognize a gain unless they sell the Bitcoin. So if they just hold long term without selling, they will only incur impairment losses and no gains. While this will make their EPS look artificially low, it's actually a huge tax benefit, which is important now that the company is making a net profit. This will just increase Tesla's free cash flow and ultimately allow them to return more money to shareholders. But Tesla's Bitcoin purchase has not come without criticism. On January 29th, Musk updated his Twitter profile to include #Bitcoin and tweeted, quote, "In retrospect, it was inevitable." Tesla made its Bitcoin purchases during the month of January, so this tweet was likely after they bought the Bitcoin. On the day of the tweet, the price of Bitcoin increased briefly before quickly giving up those gains. But so many factors influence the price of Bitcoin that it's impossible to know to what extent Musk's Twitter profile impacted the price. Many in the financial press criticized Elon and Tesla, saying this tweet could constitute market manipulation as it pumped up the price of Bitcoin after Tesla's purchase. Have a look at how CNBC covered the news.
In a new filing, says that they've updated their investment policy to provide them with more flexibility to, are you ready for this, be able to buy Bitcoin. We have invested in aggregate $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, the company says, under this policy and may acquire and hold digital assets from time to time or longer term. Moreover, we expect to begin accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for our products in the near future, the company says, subject to applicable laws and initially on a limited basis. We'll see what that means, which we may or may not liquidate upon receipt. That would be similar to what PayPal is doing in terms of how it transacts with merchants. This could be another, we're watching Bitcoin move up on the back, I imagine, of this news. I don't know how quickly it's getting into the public realm right now.
I would just throw an extra point then to the discussion we were just having, which is, and we don't know this, but there's an added irresponsibility to push up a stock if you're also benefiting from it. I don't know if Dogecoin was one that Tesla bought, but there's definitely a correlation effect with the Bitcoins of this world, and I'd have to go back through all of his tweets, but maybe Musk has also tweeted to push up the price of Bitcoin in the last couple of months. But
well, he was just a few weeks ago. In fact, he had Bitcoin. He had added the symbol to his profile on Twitter and was doing a lot of things around Bitcoin that seemed to kind of push up Bitcoin at one point.
The CNBC hosts immediately start accusing Musk of market manipulation because he has tweeted about Bitcoin and Dogecoin in the past, potentially in an effort to pump up the price in a pump and dump style scheme. Let's look at the definition of a pump and dump on investor.gov, the official SEC website, to see if there are any merits to this claim. They say a pump and dump scheme involves a fraudster disseminating false or misleading information to pump up a stock price and selling the stock before it crashes back down. They're talking about stocks, but presumably the same results would apply to Bitcoin. The fact that Elon posted #Bitcoin on his Twitter does not constitute misleading information. If someone decides to buy Bitcoin after seeing this, that's completely their own decision and was not the result of manipulation. Furthermore, for there to be a pump and dump scheme, there has to be a dump. There's no reason to believe Tesla sold their Bitcoin position after Musk's January 29th tweet, as they say they are holding for the long term.
$500 million.
Why do it? I mean, he could not possibly have had a better 12 months, Elon Musk. He could not possibly have dreamt to be in the position he's in today, where his company does not have any chance of going bankrupt, any chance of running out of cash. It's worth, gosh, I forget the number, 800 billion. He's worth 200 billion. Why on earth do this? Why take the risk?
But if you're Gary Gensler this morning, the nominee to run the SEC, and you're waking up and reading this news and this filing saying this took place in 2020, in January 2021, that they changed their investment policy. Meantime, you're watching Elon Musk over the last 3 weeks pump Bitcoin and other digital cryptocurrencies. I think there's a question mark of what's going on here from the start. Meaning, if I would bet by the end of the day, there will be an inquiry of some sort. I'm not suggesting wrongdoing per se, but you're going to start to raise some questions about what was being said publicly on one end, what was being done privately, because clearly something inside Tesla, there were decisions being made inside Tesla to buy this. I think it just raises all sorts of questions.
Well,
you look, I could see somebody make the argument that he was tipping off the public in a good way to get ahead of this, but I could also see people argue that this is another form of market manipulation.
And this is someone who's had clashes with the SEC before and had restrictions on his tweets imposed on him before. I want to know what every single Tesla board member thinks about this. They presumably had to vote to approve this decision because the filing says that they had to change the rules to allow them to have more flexibility on their cash.
The CNBC hosts point out that Tesla and Elon Musk just had their best year ever, with Tesla's market cap surpassing $800 billion and Musk's net worth surpassing Jeff Bezos to make him the richest man in the world. The fact that Musk was willing to rock the boat with this Bitcoin investment just shows his conviction in cryptocurrency and adds credibility. Elon attracts great scrutiny from the media and the SEC because he is so influential and his tweets can move markets. But he is still protected by the First Amendment and is free to talk about any stock or investment he wants, so long as he is not spreading misleading information or actively trading around the price swings. And there is no indication he is doing either of these things. Tesla's Bitcoin investment has given further credibility to Bitcoin as a legitimate asset, and Tesla investors will certainly be keeping a close eye on their Bitcoin strategies going forward. What do you guys think about this story? Was this a good move on the part of Tesla? Did Elon Musk do anything wrong with this tweeting? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to check us out on TikTok and Instagram, and check out our second channel, WSM Research, where we provide you with research and updates about the hottest trending stocks. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Wall Street Millennial, signing out.